up, guys, and welcome to Hot Takes, a weekly show where I share my top 3 hot takes for the week. And I'm going to start off with Jade Cargill. I believe that Jade Cargill needs this win over Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I'm not going to share my prediction just yet on what I think is going to be the end of this match. I am basically here to present the argument of why she needs this win. We have seen that her title reign has not been the best. There was a whole stretch where she didn't defend it for a few months, basically, y'all. And that has to do a lot with the injuries around that women's division in SmackDown, unfortunately. I feel that if we had a healthy SmackDown women's division in the main event scene, we would not have this type of negative vision or outlook of whatever you want to call it on Jade's title reign. There could have been a lot more that we could have seen out of it. WWE has seemed to be playing the waiting game on who her opponent should be, because we do know that she is a powerhouse. She is this big force. A lot of people have been speculating that WWE has been waiting for Bianca Belair, who has been out for the longest time, to step up and challenge her. But she's been out with this injury. So what does WWE do? They had to work with what they had. There was not much to work with to begin with, to the point where they had to bring Rhea Ripley, who was on Raw, to be her WrestleMania opponent. She's not even a person on SmackDown, according to Jade, bro. The fact that they had to bring a big name like Rhea to cross over to the other show to make some type of match, injury bug has been the biggest problem in the main event women's scene in SmackDown. If the goal in WWE is to build Jade into this gigantic heel force, then they have not been doing a great job, but that only is because, in my opinion, of the injuries that have been taking place. So right now is the prime time they can do that for Jade. And what did? They put up a faction of B-Fab and Michin to go up against Rhea Ripley for this WrestleMania program. This faction was not necessary at all prior to Rhea Ripley joining SmackDown. We have not seen enough from them to build any type of belief that they can be like this big heel stable in the women's division on SmackDown. There just hasn't been enough time, unfortunately. And this is a big if. If they book this right, I can definitely see the potential for it, but we're talking about Mania here. Rhea Ripley would bring that SmackDown main event women's scene to like the must-see status that it was once before. But with that being said, Jade and that faction need this win at WrestleMania if that is their goal, to make them the big faction heel force on the SmackDown main event women's scene. Diving into more controversy here, the whole Gunther situation on Raw. Everybody was saying that this made absolute no sense. I am all for this match between Gunther and Seth Rollins, and I'm very curious to see where they're going to be heading with this build. We only have 2 weeks left, and I think my hot take here is that Gunther is going to be a Paul Heyman guy, not necessarily joining the Vision. I think he's going to be like this hired assassin type role to take out Seth Rollins because the Vision is injured right now. I think he'll just be kind of a person that he manages, like how he does with Brock Lesnar, which leads me to a potential story down the line where Gunther will get Brock Lesnar later this year at SummerSlam to maybe retire him. That is my hot take on all this. For them to make any sense of what Gunther did on Raw this week, is he had to have had some type of hiring from Paul Heyman to become a Paul Heyman guy for the interim, which may lead to a match with Brock Lesnar. You never know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I love theorizing about these things, so let me know what you guys think about that one. All right, and the last hot take of this video, and hear me out here, Cody Rhodes should turn heel at WrestleMania. We have been getting breadcrumbs in almost every build he has had for Mania, it seems, where he may turn to a darker side. We saw it last year. I'm recording this the day before this week's SmackDown, so before the April 3rd edition of SmackDown. I think that it would be an interesting idea to make Cody Rhodes tap into that dark side even further. I think if we're trying to get like a great end to the show, which most likely is going to be on night 1, and what will get people talking and wanting them to tune in to what happens next, is Cody Rhodes should turn heel. This will leave a whole question mark on who will be the top babyface on SmackDown. There are a lot of candidates, which I will not go into in this video. They're slowly starting to make sense of a justified reason, if you want to call it that, with the whole tapping into the dark side. This version of Cody Rhodes is not going to be this version of Randy Orton. And that's what Stephanie was telling him, that he is not Dusty Rhodes. He is not going to be good enough to defeat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Like, Like, they're planting that seed. Whether it happens, we'll have to wait and see, but I think it would be a great idea. We've seen what he can be as a heel character in other promotions, and to be honest, we have seen him as babyface for so long, and in this build against Randy Orton, he is absolutely still playing the babyface here. No one is getting behind him the same way people were getting behind him for, like, let's say a WrestleMania 39 or 40. If there is any opportune moment to turn Cody Rhodes heel, now would be the time to do it. But those were my 3 hot takes for the week. What do you guys think? What are your guys' hot takes for this week as well? I would love to know in the comment section below. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Till then, remember to be yourself, love yourself, and do what makes you happy. Peace out.